Welcome in, everyone. I'm Renee, the visionary here at the Phoenix Uprising. The universe engages with each of us in a multitude of ways, and it's no coincidence that this particular reading has crossed your path at this pivotal point in your journey. In this video, I will share with you insights that Source has provided to me for your encouragement, your support, and your highest good. It is my intention to help others like yourself unlock, strengthen, and use the innate spiritual gifts residing within each of you. Throughout this video, you will see intuitively selected images that I've chosen meant to reflect the current energy and help you tap into your own intuition. This is a general collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest for others. We each see through our own perspective lens based on our personal level of growth, our current situation, as well as our own past experiences. I am simply a vessel that's willing to pass on messages from Source and to offer wisdom that I have collected along my journey, which may be helpful to some of you. Please note that I am not a medical professional, and these readings are meant solely for your enjoyment. I'm going to start the reading by clearing the space of any residual energy. You will hear a series of 3 chimes, starting now. Next, I'm going to light my candle of intention, and if you have a candle close by, you can go ahead and light yours and set your focus for the reading. If you have any specific questions for Source, I encourage you to ask those questions now. Let's begin. Hello, friends. I hope you're doing well. I'm seeing the 7 of Pentacles, which talks about growth from putting in long-term effort. The 4 of Swords. Perhaps it's time to take a beat. Recharge your batteries, retreat and rest. 4 of Wands. Success, fulfillment, stability, and something to celebrate. I'm seeing a moose. What do we know about moose? Well, they certainly thrive in cold climates. They thrive in places that most do not. They shed their antlers, so that's undergoing a bit of a transformation. I'm seeing a wild boar. What do we know about boars? They have an excellent sense of smell. Perhaps you're clairvoyant. They have above average intelligence. They're actually a favorite among hunters as a beast of the chase. I'm getting that you may soon have many interested in your comings and goings as well. Digging up dirt and waiting game. You're wondering when your hard work will pay off. I feel like by your next birthday, you will see forward movement by your next birthday. Did you make a promise that things would be improved by your birthday? I feel like some of you did. If you're having any anxiety about that, you'd like to be further along in your journey, further along in what you're trying to accomplish, just remember that even small steps are forward movement, so give yourself some grace. Changing your whole life is not an easy thing, is it? I'm hearing overspending and gamble. Perhaps in the past you were prone to these things. I feel like you've overcome them, or you're in the midst of doing that. The universe sees that. It's no small feat to give up our addictions. We should celebrate that as often as possible. Digging up dirt. For some of you, the gambling and overspending may come to light by someone who you've rejected in the past. I feel like someone is butthurt from your lack of energy. You must have withdrawn your energy from this person. They seem to have grimy intentions for some reason. I feel like the universe is blocking that. They want to cause you some sort of embarrassment, but I feel like that's not going to go well for them. The thing is that you've evolved to the degree that you openly admit your faults and shortcomings. So those who try to dig up your past hold no power over you anymore. You have integrated your light and dark aspects and been able to move forward. So anyone that would be trying to do you harm by digging up old things, I mean, that's the past. You don't live there, They might, but I feel like you don't. So they're not going to find you there. I'm hearing reigniting the spark within yourself for sure. And I feel like this has come especially after a period of feeling like you'd lost yourself for a while and you thought perhaps it would be forever. You're letting your light be seen. And if you're not, you should be. I feel like you're stepping into the most authentic version of yourself right now. Like the moose, you thrive in situations that most people would just break down and refuse to keep going. That requires a certain something that not a lot of people have. You may have gone through a great deal to be able to master that. And yes, it's trauma-based, I feel like, but as you move through trauma, that doesn't mean that you can't use the skills that you learned while you were at rock bottom, right? You use those skills to propel yourself forward. When you become your authentic self, you pull from the darkness as well as the light, because when you integrate the two, it just makes you all the more stronger. You're not ruled by the darkness, you know what I mean? It's a stepping stone for you, not a stumbling block. And that's incredible. I hear you belong here. The universe has seen the effort that you've put into yourself. It's time to rest and receive. I feel like it's just time for you to sit back and see truly what the universe has in store. You don't always have to be nose to the grindstone. I feel like you're coming into a place of peace and rest. You've been through a lot of things and worked through a lot of trauma. I'm hearing psychic visions, in addition to the clairalience, which is picking up on smells if you're not aware. You've begun to have visions as well. These visions are reigniting your spark, perhaps. You're meant to share your gifts with the world. That will be a true impact on those around you, especially. When you better yourself, those in your sphere can be lifted up as well. But you, of course, have to be choosy who you allow in that sphere, right? Everyone has value, that is true. But not everybody can go with you on all parts of your journey. You've really come a long way with being able to let go of the things that are not for you. And that's why you're entering this place of rest. And you know why? Because you've just released, right? I'm just seeing you, both hands letting go, right? You want to see what Source can do. And I can guarantee you it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot more than you expect. You can't outgive Source. You can't outgive the universe. Trust me. If you're willing to put in that much effort, the universe is certainly willing to multiply it by 10, possibly infinity. Who knows? The more that you put your intentions out there and then release the outcome, when you can get into a place where you put forth your part, right? You put the effort in that is required of you for what you desire, or you're well on your way to doing it, right? You're really truly putting in effort for that thing that you really truly want. If you do your part, the universe will do the other part. You've passed a lot of tests. Some you've had to take over. That's okay. Maybe it took you 2 or 3 times to learn, but you did. You're not accepting things that you used to, for sure. Some of that comes, I feel like, with age and just, you're such an open book that there's not a whole lot probably that somebody could try to dig up about you that you wouldn't openly speak about anyway. You've done a lot of integrating, You don't fear the dark shadow aspects of yourself. You are living in a place of peace where you don't have to know the who, what, when, where, and why of everything. You just know that the universe has you, You do your part of what you would like to see transpire. You do your part to make it happen. And then you back away and you let the universe take over. I did my part. I know you're going to do your part. I don't have to know how it's going to happen. When you can live in energy like that, it confuses everybody around you because you're not reacting like they would. You're not reacting like a past version of you would have. You're just truly at a place of peace that passes all understanding. That's what that means. With this waiting game, it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like you're not as advanced on your mission as you would like to be. You have to think about the things that you've asked for, especially the scale of them. If you like to dream big, which I do, it takes time to line those things up. It takes time for you to level up. It takes time for you to master your emotions. You have to have control and mastery over your own emotions, first and foremost. As the universe is lining things up for you, conversations that need to be had, doors that need to be opened, that you are unaware of, by the way. Imagine how much it takes to really orchestrate that. What you need to spend your time doing, rather than trying to micromanage the universe, you need to work on getting yourself up to snuff, so that you can step into this role that you've asked for, so that you can step into this life that you asked for. Level yourself up. And I feel like this collective, oh my goodness, you guys are so close to that. It's crazy to me. If you're not excited about it, you should be. Don't stress about the outcome, how it's going to come about. Don't worry about people who challenge you. You're so heavily protected, it's crazy. The sky's the limit. That's what I'm hearing. The universe is ready to absolutely open the heavens. You've asked for the things you want, and you believe that you're going to get them. And I believe that you are too. As an empath, the more you evolve, the more you can see the reason why people do the things they do, why they act the way that they act. Even those who try to hurt you, you sort of understand why they're doing it. Maybe they have issues of their own, right, that are unaddressed. When people try so hard to bring you out of your peace, it just doesn't work. And they're flabbergasted by this, They don't understand how you can be so at peace, at rest. It upsets a lot of people that you're not easily upset. Have you ever noticed that when people want you to worry and you don't, they think there's something wrong with you? That's what it means to be at peace. You don't let outside circumstances strip you of your joy. Is that an easy place to get to? No. Usually that requires going through a lot of things and actually working through them. You're gaining wisdom. Knowledge and wisdom, while similar, are not the same, right? I'm hearing valerian. Valerian is used as a sleep aid. It helps with anxiety. Garlic. Well, that supports healthy immune system, heart health, liver function, aids in detoxification, a plethora of benefits from garlic. If you're having trouble sleeping, I would certainly check into the valerian. Of course, garlic is certainly easy to implement into your diet, unless, of course, you happen to be allergic. By your next birthday, maybe your birthday's getting really close. I feel like the reason we're talking about your birthday is because I feel like you made yourself a promise that you wanted things to be radically different by your next birthday. There's a lot of things that have to line up in order for your manifestations to actually come into the 3D, right? Patience is a virtue. Virtues are not easily attained, are they? And the minute you ask for help with patience, it doesn't get sprinkled on you like fairy dust, friends. You're usually put into situations where there's a need to be patient. It can come in the form of, people you don't like to be around, or sitting in traffic and not having a meltdown, or being cut off in traffic and not having a meltdown. Not screaming at the girl in the drive-thru for getting your order wrong. You know what I'm saying? You have to practice peace in those little ways as well, because you're correcting what needs to be corrected for you to step into this big life that you asked for. Good, great. Ask for big things. Hey, come boldly, right? But you're a co-creator, so you're going to have some work to do if you ask for big things. You have to have patience to allow those things to unfold. Enjoy that journey. Don't try to micromanage it, every aspect of it. And hey, I'm guilty, guys. Gemini energy right here. You know what I'm saying? Overthinkers of the world unite, right? Rings up. I'm right there with you. But let's all work on it together. I feel like a lot of you are really doing well. The psychic visions. There's a lot to be said for your dreams and visions. I feel like you need to be journaling if you're not already. And I'm saying that to myself as much as you guys. I've really been shown that a number of times now. If you're having visions or dreams, you need to be writing them down because, one, we often forget our dreams as we're waking up. We'll try to go back and remember and, it's a little scrambled, You need to try to do it while it's fresh if you can. Read it once, come back and read it again. You might see something that you didn't see the first time. Ask Source to show you. I feel like a lot of our unresolved things are worked out in our dream state, our higher selves, if you believe in that. I feel like try to communicate things that would perhaps help us understand our current situations, why things had to happen the way they did. Ask for those revelations. You're definitely going to be successful. Right. If you continue to work on yourself, things are going to definitely fall in line. But don't give up. Don't allow your emotions or fear to rob you of a blessing. It's not working out as fast as I'd like, so it's just not working out. Well, that's not necessarily true, is it? Just because you can't see all of the progress that's happening, the things that are being arranged for your good, doesn't mean that it's not happening. Just like the things that are happening on your internal. Everyone may not be able to see everything that's happening on the inside of you that's going through this transformation, like the moose. You're shedding things every year, allowing things to fall away that don't serve your highest good. They may not have the best intentions, but that doesn't mean that they can't see your progress. In fact, they can probably see it the clearest, They're trying to micromanage your life instead of looking at their own. I know detachment has sort of a negative connotation with it, but not all the time, I feel like you can detach your emotions. You're not always led by your emotions. Like you don't lash out or feel the need to get back at someone. You know what I'm saying? You don't live in that kind of energy anymore. It's taken some time, of course. There's a lot of growth here. You're getting to such an authentic place that you are at rest within yourself. And that, friend, that is a glorious and rich and wealthy and beautiful place to be. You've learned to be joyous in times of happiness and greatness and everything's going your way. And you can also be as equally happy when things are not going your way. When things sort of seem like they're falling apart, as a matter of fact. Sometimes joy and peace is you making the choice to be those things. At times when it makes absolutely no sense to do that. It blows people's minds when you do that. It's okay to rest. Do something nice for yourself. Do something that would put a smile on your 10-year-old self's face. As always, I pray for your abundance in all good things and encourage you to take the next step of your journey with confidence and a renewed sense of hope. I like to leave you with the food for thought quote of the day. And today's quote is, "Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace." Randy Armstrong. Only up from here, and together we rise.